Good afternoon, everybody. So, I want to just spend some time, talking about what has helped us kind of get 60 million downloads, 10, 15 million monthly active users on Koo in about, I think, 2 years of serious building of the product. And some of our retention rates are best in class, and we've been able to achieve all of that, not just because traditional ways of growth, but also some emotional ways of growth, right? This is not something that we were aware of. We became aware of this through the journey of Koo, right? So before this, I founded the Taxi for Sure growth story. Of course, that was a 3.5-year journey, and when it came to a transaction business like Taxi for Sure, it was to get the unit right. What was the unit in cabs? Basically show the free cabs. Once somebody books, make sure that you show the cab is arriving, get the customer in, drop the person in from point A to point B, collect cash, and you're done, right? And then the person who gave a great experience, whether it's Uber, Ola, Taxi for Sure, was able to get more people to open their app first. But over a period of time, it also became who raised more money, right? Who was able to give more discounts? Who was able to spend more money on, whether it's on search marketing or social marketing or brand marketing, right? And that journey basically became who raised more money and, who could be more aggressive in the market, right? The product itself and the emotional connect with the user wasn't as important, right? Or we didn't take advantage of enough of the emotional situations that we got in order to grow or outgrow our competition at that point in time. When it comes to Koo, some of the examples of virality that we got were all based on mass emotion, right? Our first moment of virality, we participated in the Atmanirbhar App Challenge, and then 2 months later, after we had won that, the Prime Minister of India mentioned Koo in his Mann Ki Baat. We were extremely small. We were probably 4,000, 5,000 daily active users. The Prime Minister mentioning us took us to like 50,000 or 70,000 downloads that day, and our systems broke, like even with that much, right? But a lot of people got to know about us. They started searching about Koo. They wanted to know more. They wanted to know who the founders were, why they started this, what is this company all about. And they built an emotional connect, right? The second moment of virality, we kept building in local languages, Kannada, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu. This was in 2020, right? And then we also saw that Trump got banned in the US on Twitter. And we said, okay, we also have to introduce English because you never know when somebody will get banned anywhere else, right? And we should be there when, this thing happens. We started English community in December 2020. And in February 2021, Twitter got into trouble because they didn't take down some content which was against India. And, the government kept requesting them, but they never budged, right? So as a retaliation to that, since they already knew that we existed, they said, okay, if you guys don't listen, I have my own platform. And that created a massive wave for us. Again, second wave, right? And all of this is unplanned, right? Like, these are emotions that are coming together. And we got a huge surge. I think we got like 7 lakh to 8 lakh downloads in one day. And of course, our systems crashed as, as we weren't ready. But what happened again was we were able to get a lot of people aware at the same time. So imagine all of the union ministers, some of the biggest Bollywood guys, some of the biggest sportsmen, spiritual leaders, everybody coming onto the platform at once, right? If we had to do that ourselves using offline methods of reaching out to them or doing performance ads or brand ads on TV, that would have taken forever. It would have never even happened. To get each one of these people, we would have had to, like the Bollywood stars or sports folks, we would have had to pay each one of them like, few crores each, right? Now, all of this has happened with an emotion for the app, and that's propelled our growth. Can you take advantage of emotional outbursts in your particular industry? Are you guys tuned into what's happening? Can you ride waves? You will keep spending on Google, Facebook, everything else. Extremely predictable stuff. You spend more money, you get more customers. Life goes on, right? But for irrational growth, you should be able to ride on irrational behavior, right? And ride on very massive emotions that might present itself to you. And not, just think of, the easier ways of growth, right? Then another moment of virality happened internationally, right? So Nigeria banned Twitter, right? In 2 days, the president of Nigeria was on Koo. Now, I wasn't even thinking about Nigeria. But the president's office contacted us. They wanted to get onto Koo. We made it available there. All of that happened, right? Again, a moment of virality. Not because, we've focused on Nigeria and made it big. We were heavily focused on India even after that. Only now is when we are going global. But that created a huge wave and gave us a very global positioning back, like in 2021 itself, right? And now, just 2 weeks ago, Brazil, so we weren't even aware of, our app being available in Brazil. And then suddenly, all these Portuguese content came into the dashboard. And I was wondering, I thought it was from Portugal. And when we dug deep, saw the location, it was Brazil, right? And that Portuguese content kept rising through the day, right? So much so that by the end of the first 24 hours, or let's say 48 hours, we had 2 million downloads from Brazil in 48 hours, right? This with zero CAC. 2 million downloads, 48 hours, zero money spent, same product, same everything, but we went viral in Brazil. And in those 48 hours, there were these huge concerts that were happening, music concerts. There's a singer on stage shouting out saying, okay, join me on Koo, right? There's a user who uploaded a photograph of a tattoo of our logo on their hand, right? Never happened in India, never happened in Nigeria, but it's happening in Brazil, right? And it's only 2 weeks. And we've got, just yesterday, the president of Brazil joined, right? So there are unknowns, right? You don't know what you've created sometimes. And can you step out of, okay, you've set up an engine of growth, but can you step out of that engine of growth and think of how you can grow using emotions? Elon Musk is a great example of growing with emotions, right? Like he's in the news every day. Bad, good, whatever it is, right? But the guy has such a following. He says something, in 2 hours, all of us are discussing it. The power of that is beyond. He's not sitting and doing performance marketing. Buy my car, Tesla, here are 10 reasons to buy it. No. We are finding out why to buy the Tesla and making sure that we are convinced about it because everybody else is convinced about it. Now, for a brand, this is magical. Otherwise, everything is predictable. If you as a brand are predictable, then you will only achieve, little more than what you've thought of. But if you can ride on the unpredictability of the market, of the world, of the situations you're put in, build an emotional connect with your users in whatever manner. I'm not suggesting a way in which you should do it. But there should be a lot of thought in actually trying to make this happen. I don't want to summarize, but my question to the audience, and I'll leave you with this question, is irrespective of the sector you're in, is there an emotional side that you can grow on rather than just depending on the usual levers of how you're spending money and getting users, right? And trust me, all the emotional users that we have ever acquired are the ones who retain better, are the ones who spend more time, are the ones who are talking about us as a brand, are the ones. So what can you do in your own businesses to make sure this happens? And by design. And sometimes you can't design because, but can you also identify certain situations and ride on those situations, right? As an ecosystem, I think sometimes we've become so rational that we've stopped, being emotional with our users altogether. So I think emotional growth is a reality, and Koo is a direct and real beneficiary of that emotional growth. And to get like 60 million odd downloads in 2 years with the amount of money that we've raised, as in it's impossible otherwise, right? So I think, this is a thought that I want to leave you guys with. And, are you guys nimble enough to ride every wave that comes onto or comes in front of you? All the best. Thanks.